Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on, I thought it was Wednesday, it's actually Tuesday the 22nd of December. Just have to remember the days of the week now as it moves on towards Christmas. Just a pre-warning here, tomorrow will be the last update this week, and then it'll be just over a week. I'll be back on the 4th of January because personally I'm not going to be trying to trade these markets throughout these periods. Let's say Wednesday's the last day, so for me of even looking at trading. Yesterday we got a good trade out, but not looking to do anything else at the moment. So let's start off looking at actually the news that is due out today. Well, we've got final GDP in the US, which is not a great mover. It may create some volatility. It's expected to come in at 33%. It was 33% at the last reading. It's not going to be a massive surprise, even if it's 34 or 35%. It really, the figures are a bit sort of, well, they're so huge compared to where they were. We were sitting at -5s and things like this, and the stimulus that was stuck there. So really makes no great bearing on the markets today. So that's at 1:30. Aside of that, nothing. We've already seen the final UK data come out this morning. That came in slightly better, but not really a great mover. So let's look at the technicals and what we've got ahead then. Euro dollar gave us a great short yesterday. Now it's looking like it might ease back a bit at the moment. We're just seeing it pulling back here. Big bounce yesterday. You've got to remember all the time when you look at these markets that it's in a trend, and it's an upward trend on this bigger picture. Now that could be turning. We certainly saw some reason to short it yesterday, but it may run over again this morning. I'm just looking; it's just coming into its daily pivot here, which it's technically it's said to be bullish above a daily pivot, bearish below it in rough terms. A break of you can see there's a sort of a flag that's sort of sitting here at the moment. A break at the top of that would see a push maybe back towards some highs. This yesterday's high there maybe in the first place, and then maybe back into the highs that we saw on Friday. So there's that potential. A break of this level, if it carries rolling over here, well, the 200 is sort of calling, but that's already been chewed up yesterday. The logical place from a statistical point of view would be this S1 area, so that's where I'd be looking for to the downside. Okay, that's the euro. So just being patient at the moment. It's only literally 4 minutes past 8 as I'm recording this. I do give it a bit of time to see how it shapes up. So I'll just be, as I say, waiting on that one. The pound's miraculous bounce yesterday, and there could still be some good news on the pound. I say good news in the form of some sort of Brexit deal. It's not necessarily there at the moment, but I'm reading comments and you're seeing more and more things being shared with the public, and it looks like it's getting closer and closer. On that basis, yesterday we saw with the softening of the US dollar, of course, that helped, but we saw one hell of a bounce here, and the pound still technically is an upward trend. People are sort of writing it off yesterday and wrote it off before, and all it really is, I've put this regression channel, and it's a great tool just to look at where the one standard deviation either side of the mean. So it's not really of any significant breakout on either side of this, and the trend is obviously, as I say, it's putting higher lows in, higher highs through the tops here in the bigger picture. Technically it's still bullish. Yes, that we had some bearishness kicking through. Actually on last Friday it was looking soft, easier to see when you come down to the 60-minute with these lower highs, lower lows running through here. But yesterday found support off the monthly pivot, solid old bounce up there. This all coincided around about the same time. You see these markets turning in sort of late morning, mid to late morning. Again here now, is this going to bounce up again? It's already taken a bounce off its daily pivot so far, and it does look like it might have some more legs potentially, but we'll just, as I say, I'm just sort of my preference at the moment is still for further upside on this market, and as I said, if anything Brexit that's positive may just drive that. Now it's going to be, by looks of things, it's going to be too late for the 31st, this deal, but you never know what's going to happen with these guys when they're talking. Deadlines mean nothing really, it seems. Okay. Dollar yen still in the downward trend largely. Again, yesterday it was rallying up towards the mean again. Again, this is a sort of mean regression. I'll just pop it over the chart. You just see it keeps you sort of focused on where's the mean. The mean of this price action is this black line down the center here. It's certainly in a good downward trend in the bigger picture. 4 hourly wise, it's a bit more of a struggle on this 4 hourly in a sense. It did pitch up. You sort of look at trend lines across the lows there, and yes, it could break off from that, and you could be a bit more aggressive and look at the trend line across the lows here. And it starts breaking down. It's the underside of the pivot, so we've seen the bounce off the pivot from that point. We could see a sell-off, a trend line across the low here, and look towards the more optimistic way is towards that S1 area. Quite a big move yesterday, though. You may look halfways on some of these. If you're targeting S1s, it may be you look at the mid between the pivot and the S1, only because we had such a large range relative to what we've been seeing recently. Okay, that's the yen, as I say, looking dollar yen looking bearish. Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar, another one, trend up. You can see this. It's not even managed to close below its daily 21. Yes, it's having a bit of a rollback at the moment, and yes, there may be. I mean, it looks a similar-ish to the euro pattern here, coming down the time frames. Oh, it's just sitting there around its daily pivot at the moment. Again, this could be a bullish look, and it's got a sort of bullish look on the short term here. It doesn't mean to say it will go that way. It may just carry on rolling, but it's had some decent, at least a 38% retrace, I'm guessing, by the just eyeballing this. But a break at the top there would be what I'd need to trigger something for me. But otherwise, well, yep, it may just roll over. And well, the S1 here with the prior lows, possible. Again, it may just be. I was looking at that on the euro there, same sort of picture, but bearing in mind it was a big old day yesterday, and it may just be short of that unless you're happy to leave it for a day. Okay, also, so looking elsewhere then, and where we sitting here at the moment, Canadian dollar, when it loads, it'll be good. It's not going to give me the Canadian dollar at the moment, so I'll leave the Canadian dollar for a moment in that case. My data has suddenly decided not to feed for me. There we go. So similar picture you're seeing with the New Zealand dollar. The New Zealand dollar is slightly softer than the Australian dollar if you're looking at this. So just bear in mind there was divergences around the high. It still managed to make a new high and break the divergence, but we've seen a correction over the last couple of days, and it's looking a bit soft at the moment. In fact, this New Zealand dollar looks a tad softer. 4 hourly wise, it's not got that sort of nice looking flag. Well, no, it's not really. It's broken over, much softer looking. And if you're looking at between the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar for the short side, maybe the New Zealand just rolls a little bit easier. We'll see. But even this at the moment is looking like it's trying to put in a bit of a bottom. I'm just looking, keeping an eye on the euro as I speak to you, and you just see just getting a bit of a bounce off that pivot at the moment. So this may be setting itself up on the long side continuation. So as I say, the strength of the bigger side of the market is on the upside. Very messy here from an hourly point of view, and certainly yesterday I had good reason with the lower highs, lower lows to be shorting it. But this morning it's let's say bull flag sort of territory. Okay, that's pretty much the Forex markets. Let's have a quick look at oil. Oil lost out in the morning yesterday, and well, it again, like every other market here, managed to bounce back in the afternoon. It's got quite choppy where it's sitting at the moment, selling off again this morning, getting ahead of itself almost. But I think a mean of about $50 is a reasonable price for a barrel of oil in the current situation. Bearing in mind they've got these quotas that are sort of sitting in there just to hold the production levels down. But at some stage that could drop again if anyone falls out and anyone overproduces. It's notoriously overproduction occurs frequently. No one necessarily trusts anyone else, and the more oil is pumped and sold. Anyway, oil as it sits on this picture at the moment, looking quite bearish. It's rolled over. It's sort of pushed up there, had the flag there, but it just rolled. It might, as I say, if the other markets really catch the bid, this may too. This dollar weakness, we'll see this pushing up more than anything else. more than the actual price of or the demand necessary for oil. It'll be a dollar weakness picture that moves this. Looking then at the S&Ps, continued trend. I mean, we saw it sell off yesterday, and then eventually in the afternoon it caught the bid again. This looks like, to me, it's a very similar case to the euro. There we are. You could match these charts up. There's always a good correlation. I say always, but there's normally a good correlation between the euro and the S&Ps, and we're seeing it back here again. So looking at the moment like we could see these S&Ps break that 50 MA, maybe a bit more bullish above that level, and head up towards the highs there. Okay, that's how I see it at the moment. I wish you a great day. I'll be back in the morning for the last one this side of Christmas. Have a good one. Bye for now.